In Japan, leaving work on time is perfectly legal. The Labor Standards Act protects it. The work style reform celebrates it. Your manager, they might even encourage it. They'll smile and say, "Don't overdo it. Please, feel free to go home." But here is the ghost in the room. If it's allowed, if it's encouraged, and if it's technically right, why does standing up at 6:01 p.m. feel like committing a crime? Welcome to the unspoken side of Japan. Today, we aren't talking about the rules in the handbook. We're talking about the rules in the air. 6-page M, right on the dot. The digital clock on your monitor flips to the hour. Your tasks for the day are finished. No deadlines are on fire. You've been productive, efficient, everything a good worker should be. You stand up, you offer the ritualistic apology. Osaki ni shitsure shimasu. Excuse me for leaving before you. Think about that phrase for a moment. In most languages, you say, "Goodbye, see you tomorrow," or "Have a good night." In Japan, you apologize for being finished, as if your efficiency is a burden to those who remain. As if by leaving, you are committing a quiet act of betrayal against the collective. It is a ritual that reinforces one simple idea, that being the first to leave is a social debt that must be acknowledged. No one shouts, no one stops you, but you feel it. A subtle shift in the atmospheric pressure. Not because they're angry, they're just watching. In any other country, leaving when your work is done is called efficiency. In Japan, it's often seen as a withdrawal, a quiet exit from a shared struggle that everyone else is still enduring. To understand why that 1 minute past 6 feels so heavy, you have to understand the currency of the Japanese office. In the West, work is a contract. Time exchanged for money. But in the unspoken Japan, work is participation. You aren't just hired to perform a task. You are recruited into a tribe. And a tribe survives on shared suffering and shared presence. When you leave on time, you aren't just finishing your job. You are physically removing yourself from the tribe's defensive line. Look closely at the people staying late. Many of them aren't typing. They are scrolling, eyes glazed by the blue light of the monitor. They aren't innovating. They are waiting. They are waiting for the invisible permission. A nod from the atmosphere that says, "It is now safe to be a human being again." This is what scholars call presenteeism, the act of being physically present without being productive. In this environment, working hard and staying late have become synonymous, even if nothing is actually being created. It is a theater of diligence. A performance where the stage is your desk, and the audience is your peers. There's a secret phrase often whispered to newcomers. You're allowed to leave on time, just not at first. At first is a vague term. It could mean 3 months. It could mean 3 years. It's the period where you prove you aren't dangerous. A person who leaves exactly at 6 p.m. is unpredictable. They prioritize their own life, their own dinner, their own family, over the atmosphere of the room. So during those first months, you stay. You adjust documents that don't need adjusting. You read emails you've already archived. You aren't working, you are performing work. Because in this system, effort isn't measured by what you produce, but by how much of your life you are willing to sacrifice at your desk. If you don't look tired, are you even trying? If you haven't given up your evening, do you even care? This doesn't make Japanese people bad. Your boss isn't a villain. Your coworkers aren't drones. They are prisoners of the same air. They grew up in a culture where Honne, your true feelings, must always be sacrificed for Tatemae, the public face. The boss who tells you to go home is speaking Tatemae, but the silence that follows when you actually do it, that is the Honne. It's a circular trap. If the boss stays, even just to read the news, the atmosphere dictates that you stay too. Everyone is waiting for someone else to be the first to break the silence. It is a standoff where no one wins and everyone loses their life's most precious resource, time. The Japanese government knows this is a problem. They passed laws. They created Premium Fridays. But culture moves slower than policy, and atmosphere, the cookie, has a much longer memory than any labor union. When a system changes but the atmosphere doesn't, you get shadow overtime. People clock out on paper, then go back to their desks. They follow the law, but they obey the air. They hide their coats. They keep their desk lamps on. Because the punishment for breaking the law is a fine for the company. But the punishment for breaking the atmosphere is social isolation. And in Japan, isolation is a fate worse than exhaustion. To be the person who doesn't read the air is to be functionally invisible. This mindset follows people home. It seeps into the walls of their apartments. It's why the lights in Tokyo's business districts never truly go out. The city itself has become an extension of the office. Think about the ultimate cost of this silence. When your energy is consumed by the act of being present, what is left for the rest of your life? What is left for your children who only see you when you are asleep? Japan isn't shrinking because people are lazy. It's shrinking because people are still sitting at their desks at 8 p.m., waiting for a sign that it's okay to go live their lives. They are too exhausted to date, too busy to marry. When your entire life is spent waiting for permission, you eventually stop acting altogether. The work style reform was supposed to be a revolution, but you cannot legislate the air. The monitors stay on. The keyboards continue to click. The silence grows heavier with every passing year. Is there a way out? It requires more than just a change in law. It requires a fundamental change in the definition of value. It requires the courage to be the one who stands up and the compassion of the group to let them go. So yes, you are allowed to leave on time. Everyone agrees on that. In theory. Just remember, the hardest rules to break are the ones no one ever says out loud. This is the unspoken side of Japan. To understand this country, you don't just listen to what's said. You listen to the silence. And if you listen closely enough, you'll realize that the silence is actually a scream for change. See you at 6:01.